Voting isn't just going to the polls anymore on Election Day. Options like early voting, mail-in voting, and ballot drop boxes are available to more voters and are growing in popularity. How to Vote is a tool created by Democracy Works, and it breaks down the options your state offers by forecasting a ballot, empowering you to decide where and when to vote. Democracy works best when we all vote, but misinformation and confusion about election procedures have resulted in low voter turnout. How to Vote takes the guesswork out of the voting process. It is easy to use and helps folks from all over the country overcome many of the process barriers to voting. It is committed to helping you vote no matter what. You can use the How to Vote tool to sign up for election reminders, see what's on your ballot, get step-by-step assistance requesting your mail ballot, explore your options for returning your mail-in ballot, check your voter registration status, and find your local polling site and make sure that you have an appropriate ID to bring with you. Decide when and where you'll vote this year at howto.vote.
Hello and welcome to the formal review. Today, we will be looking at the 2018 film, Cold War. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the review.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Formal Review. This is episode 36, the final movie review in the 2018 season. Now before I get started into it, I do want to say that there may be some spoilers, but as I always say, I do my best to keep the review fairly vague, so not to ruin the movie for you, but you should try to go see the film before listening to what I have to say. But if you really don't care about that, keep listening. So Cold War is a historical period drama film directed by Paweł Pawlikowski, I'm probably butchering that, who co-wrote the screenplay with Janusz Kowalski and Peter Borokowski. It stars Joanna Kulig, Tomasz Kot, Boris Sizio, Agata Kuleza, Cedric Kahn, Jan Balabar. Now, these all are Polish names, so if I'm mispronouncing that, I really do apologize. And this film takes place in Poland and France during the Cold War in the late 1940s until the 1960s, and follows a music director, Viktor, played by Kot, and a singer, Zula, played by Kulig, who fall madly in love, and as they are forced to play very communist propaganda, they really want to travel west to mark their freedom. Now, this film is filmed completely in black and white. Now, I really feel, as I did with Roma, that this adds a very historic aspect to it and makes the audience feel like they're watching a memory of somebody, because it makes it feel a lot older because it's an old technique, and I really appreciated that from the director, and especially when it has to do with Poland during this time period, post-World War II. The two characters are played well by the main actors. I think they do fairly decent jobs. But at the end of the day, this film is legitimately this love story about these broken people during the Cold War. And frankly, this film is very sad and depressing because you know the environment that they're in when it comes to the communist propaganda. You see these flags of Stalin when they're in Russia, so it feels very sad. It really makes this film feel a lot more tragic than it really is, and it really makes you attach yourself to these characters because you want them to succeed, and they're trying to fix each other over the course of 20 years. This is the problem with this film. There's no really explanation for why this couple is given this love story. There's no reason for why they're in love. They don't seem like a good couple, even though it's a very tragic environment that they're in. Even if the age difference, if you can look past that, that's not even the biggest issue here. They're not sweet to each other. They're just a destructive couple. And for a film to be a romance film in a dark time, you need something strong to make the audience feel attached to these people so they can make it through their hour-and-a-half runtime. And if you don't have that, it ends up being a fairly boring film, which this was. Had the romance been a lot stronger, this film could have been really well done. That was a terrible choice when it comes to the writing. The film really doesn't try to give up on them. That is not a bad thing. It really tries to get you to care about the relationship. Like I said, the direction is pretty good here. I think his choice on how to really make you feel like you're in the 1940s is on par with Alfonso Cuarón in his film. The direction, I think, is really good. The writing is just awful in this film. Maybe I'm missing something, and maybe there's something lovable about this couple. There's a lot of good things about it. It looks good. The acting is decent. The directing is excellent. But the story just wasn't engaging for me, and I could not move past it. And I would never watch this film again. But it is still a very well made. For that reason, that's why I'm going to rate it a 3 out of 5 votes. And that concludes the 2018 season. The next episode is going to be my top 10 films of the year. I'm going to go through that, and then I'm going to give you my preview thoughts for the Oscars. Now let me know what you thought of this film though. Hit me up on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The URL is all the same. It's at The Formal Review. You can also check out Box Office Buzz. They have a lot of movie news, TV news, music news, video game news. I also do retrospective reviews on there, so go check them out. And I want to again thank you all for tuning in. I do really appreciate every single person who listens to what I have to say about movies. I really do it for you all. For those who have supported me on a financial basis, I really appreciate that. And if you want to start, just go to anchor.com/the-formal-review and click support this podcast. Honestly, any contribution is appreciated. Now, as with all reviews, there is music in the background because I do think it's an important part of the film. This episode's music was from the Cold War original motion picture soundtrack composed by Marcin Majewski and Joanna Kulig, released by Milan Records on December 28th, 2018. Thank you all again for tuning in, and until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Take care, everyone.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Formal Review. We hope you'll join us again.